Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. I'm back with more WNBA news. And of course, the Washington Mystics are, they have a lot of talent, but as a coach and as an organization, you have to figure out how to manage that talent. You have to figure out what pieces work together, what lineups go at the right time, who is your elite scorer, which I think they find in Sonia Citron. You have to find out who works best with who in crutch moments. And I think they're still trying to figure that out, which they're a young team. A lot of their players are first year and second year players, with the exception of maybe Shakira Austin. But for the most part, those players are very young. And I believe the coaching has to figure this stuff out because you drafted three elite pieces just this year in Rory Harmon, Lauren Betts, and Cody McMahon, who are very good pieces, but they're still young, even though they spent 4 years in the WNBA. I mean, in college basketball, like most WNBA players do. But at the same time, the game speed of the WNBA is a different monster, so to speak. So, how can you manage all of that talent with the great pieces that they have? And also, they had Georgia Amore coming off the injury last year, which is pretty much essentially her rookie season this year because she got hurt in preseason last year. So you have that young piece. Then you have Kiki Ariel Finn, who was hurt in her second year. Um, so you have a lot of young pieces, and I think my major concern always has been. I said on paper, this is a very good team with a lot of talent, but my main concern is, can you manage this team effectively and fast enough to make the playoffs or be competitive? And they've done that for the most part this year. They just went into 4 overtimes yesterday or the other day from when the time that you're viewing this video. So they've done a lot. They've had some key wins, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But I think for the most part, they've done well, with the exception of maybe the lineups, because I do want to see Cody McMahon get more minutes because I think she is the most unique piece that they have because she's a guard with forward skills. She showed this at Ohio State. She showed this when she went down to Ole Miss. She showed the ability to be versatile, and I think she's the most versatile piece that they have because either they have guards and then they have the big players, but they don't have anybody that can intertwine between both those roles. And if you're putting her at that three small forward spot, um, she's very effective because she can push the ball down the court. She can pass the ball and she can score. So she's pretty much like a Draymond Green 2.0 with a better jump shot. And that's what she is because she's always pushed the ball down the floor. At Ole Miss, she was very essential. And I think she got fatigued a lot because she was the key cog piece. And a lot of times when she got the rebound, she pushed the ball up the floor. She would go 94 feet for a basket or make a great pass, and it fatigued her. But now she's playing with so much talent that I think she only gets better in that situation because now she can pass off and doesn't have to bring the ball up 94 feet. She doesn't have to be the passer, scorer, and the rebounder, the assister, and all these things. She don't have to do all that. So I think Cody McMahon does need more minutes. I think they'll figure that out as she plays in the little spurts that she plays. Um, but I think for the most part, Washington has done a good job. It's one of the most exciting teams to me in the league. But I do think that them losing some of the losses have been horrendous. Mostly the Chicago loss. Chicago has been pretty bad. And Washington lost to them by 18. And I don't think that was the true Washington that showed up to that game, but that was the one unacceptable loss that I've seen from them because you can't lose to Chicago by 18, yet alone 8 points, because that team is that bad. If you lose on a buzzer beater or something, I understand, but Chicago Sky's been just ran badly and just um, I think their talent, they have a talent on their team. They just, for some reason, I just feel like they're cursed for some reason, especially after you're trading Angel Reese and um, letting Kennedy Carter go a couple years ago. That team's been pretty toxic, but you can't lose to them like that. But Washington has been very competitive with teams like the Liberty and the Lynx, which has proven that they can compete in this league on any given night if they bring their A games and they have the right mentality. Because I think while they're a young team, they're not a team that really can push the ball up the floor. They're more of a half court team, which is shocking because most of those younger teams push the ball up and down the court. That's not really Washington's forte. They're more of a half court type team. They're not going to go on fast breaks. I mean, they can if the opportunity arises itself, but that's not their claim to fame. They want to get you in the half court and wear you down. And I think Citron, well, I know Citron has proven to be the best player. She just put up 30 a couple of days ago when they played on Sunday. But I think Kiki and Shakira are working themselves for the second place of the best players on that team, which you have to establish a best player, which Citron is, in order to have some kind of order. Because Citron hitting that game winner the last other, well, maybe last week, was just evidence of her being able to be that top player because you have to have somebody to go to in clutch moments, and she's that. And she's another one of those Notre Dame pieces that I talked about, um, i.e., Marina Mabry, that has that talent from that Notre Dame tree. But I think needs the coaching needs to be more competitive. Um, Sidney Johnson, he has to be more competitive towards the end of the year to expect to keep his job because I do think he has another couple of years of grace where they'll allow him to be subpar. I don't think they're really subpar right now. 500 in the WNBA is pretty good. They were like, well, I think they're like 10-9 now, so they're over 500. So they're better than subpar statistically. But I think for where this team is, I think they should have a couple of more wins, but that's with the youth and inexperience that they have, not just in basketball, but just within the professional ranks. So I think he has another year and a half to turn this team around to be one of the top teams in the East, because with his talent, they should be there. But it's a gift and a curse situation. It's gift because he has an abundance of talent, but it's a curse because he has those expectations, and you have to do something with those expectations once you have them. So he's in a unique spot, but he's in a favorable spot, I believe, because you have the talent. You just have to figure out how to manage it, which is probably a more difficult problem, but it's a good problem to have than having no talent. So, tell me your thoughts about the Washington Mystics this year and how do you feel they've performed? And until next time, I'll see you next time.